So the first thing we're going to do is get our body and face moving, and we're going to do that by selecting both of these. Now you can open them in the drop down menu and key in the position data, or you can just hit P and that brings up your position, and we're going to keyframe both of those. And I'm going to keyframe the start and the end keyframes. Now in our walk cycle, the 30-second frame here is our middle, so we're going to keyframe that one as well. Now between those two, on the 24th keyframe, so that's equidistant between these two keyframes, we're going to have the body lower. So that's going to be mid-stride, just a little bit, just get the legs bending. And there we can see our Duick rig in action as the body moves, the legs, the ankles stay in place and the legs do all the work, they bend in between. And again on frame 40, I'm just going to copy and paste the same keyframe. So now you can see we've got a character who's bouncing up and down. Now I want the head to do much the same thing here. So actually what I'm going to do is have my face, when we're up here, I'll delete these keyframes for now. I want its face to be up. So again, I'll keyframe that on these up states. And then in the middle of the stride, I'm going to bring his face all the way down. I'm going to copy and paste that again. Now what I'm going to do here is add a little bit of easing to the animation. We'll do that by clicking Keyframe Assistant. I'm going to add Easy Ease, and that's just going to mean that our keyframes ease in and out of their positions there. So now if I play back on my Mac here, that's the spacebar button, you can see that our character has a nice looping beat to him. Here he is, bouncing up and down. So our character's bobbing along here quite nicely, but we're going to add a little bit of secondary motion, and we're going to do that by offsetting some of these keyframes. Now, as you know, this start and end keyframe are both the same here, and the reason that we have a sort of working timeline a bit longer than what we need is so that we can copy and paste, Control C, Control V, these keyframes on the body, and we can slide them against each other. So our face here, I'm going to show you now, but I might move it back for the process of animating the walk cycle. We're going to have it, you can have it leading the bounce, or you could move it kind of further along and have it sort of sit behind the bounce, so it kind of feels like it's bobbing up and down with the body there. Now I'm going to move this back to where we had it originally, but that's the idea. If we just copy and paste those keyframes so that they extend beyond our working area here, we're able to slide those frames to suit our kind of desired motion. So now that our body's working, we're going to start animating our walk cycle. And to do that, again, we're going to hit P, and we're going to deal with the position of the legs first of all. So we want the walk cycle to start and end on the same keyframe. So I'm going to put this leg over here, and obviously it's going to end up back here. Oops, excuse me. So I'm going to copy and paste that keyframe to the same location. Now, this other leg, I'm going to have that sit further back. And again, we're going to make sure that keyframe loops perfectly so that our character finishes and ends on the same keyframe. But now this middle keyframe, obviously we want the legs to swap over. So I'm going to create a frame where they are opposite each other. And once again, what I'm going to do here is add, using the keyframe assistant, I'm going to add some easing. So what we should now see is almost a skating character as he moves his legs backwards and forwards. Again, he should have a perfect loop if we've done that correctly. So taking this front leg, now as that moves backwards, obviously that's going to be planted on the ground. But then as it moves forwards, we want him to pick this leg up. And similarly, as this front leg moves forwards, we want him to pick that leg up. So now we should have something of a rudimentary walk cycle as our character bobs along with this simple walk cycle.